Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. 12 rounds, friend or foe. Nobody talking about this. But I am, you know what I'm saying? You got to understand what's going on here with Devin and Brian Norman Jr. Devin may wish this was a 4-round fight. Brian Norman Jr. may be wishing it was a 15-round fight. But you got to get into the science of time in boxing, because sometimes the clock is the most dangerous opponent. Let me tell you something. You get in that ring, how many times you see fighters in the ring looking up at that clock when they're in trouble, or looking up at the clock, or asking the corner what round is it, because they feel they're behind. It's either you want that round to end because your ass in trouble, or you want more time because you're behind. You know what I'm saying? And I just think, for me, that clock is the most dangerous opponent. And I think when you really think about it, boxing is not just about who throws the hardest punches, who throws the fastest punches, who has all the intangibles that these champions embody. I really think it's about how much you can do before time runs out and possibly get a stoppage, or, you know, at least take it round by round and, you know, win the rounds. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to Devin Haney and Brian Norman Jr., the 12-round format, the modern championship standard, is both a blessing and a curse. Now, when it comes to Devin Haney, you know, 12 rounds can benefit him. 12 rounds can benefit him. The 12-round limit may be Devin Haney's greatest ally, but then it may not be. When it comes to Devin Haney, his entire fighting identity is built on controlling range, pace, distance, rhythm. You know what I'm saying? If Devin Haney can do that, he'll win the fight. The 12-round limit allows Devin Haney to box on his terms without being forced to go into deep survival mode waters like the old 15-round era fighters had to do. As much as I think Brian Norman Jr. is going to win this fight, I got to tell you that if Devin get the stars to line up, he can win. But see, Devin Haney's a rhythm-based fighter, and he wants structure. He doesn't want chaos. Brian Norman Jr. will probably bring him some chaos. And 12 rounds means Devin can execute a game plan. We know that he's very disciplined. He'll stick to the script. His dad, even though I like to make jokes about Beijing Bill because he's a colorful character, Beijing Bill gets it right. And Devin does a good job at managing risk efficiently. He's not a one-punch knockout artist. He's not even a 2 or 3 combination punch type knockout artist. But he's a 12-round strategist. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that we got to keep in mind. Although he's at 147, and I'm not sure just how much, you know, 12-round strategizing he can do against a killer like Brian Norman Jr. The bottom line is we know Devin, the same bounce in his legs he has in the first round, he has that shit in the last round. So you got to give him credit for that. Now, Haney wins fights through round management, okay? Winning small moments, consistently picking his spots and having his moments. He scores early, stays disciplined in the middle rounds, and finishes strong enough to close the show safely. The structure of a 12-round fight fits him perfectly because, to me, it rewards consistency and control, not really all about the chaos and just attrition. You know, just someone who comes in and just shows they're far superior talent-wise. Every time the bell rings, Haney gets a mental reset. It's like time to go back to work. It's like hitting save on a video game. You know what I mean? You don't want to lose all the work that you accomplished. Each round for Devin Haney is like a checkpoint. In a 12-round fight, he only needs to win 7 or 8 of those rounds to secure victory. And that's his world. Technical dominance, not wars of attrition. And this is why Brian Norman Jr. has got to be aware of that and be wary of that, because if Devin Haney can come out there and win, you know, 6 rounds clearly, then those other 6 is just a matter of, you know, what the judges like. And, you know, Brian Norman Jr. could be in bad shape. Now, the science of short fights, why 4 rounds would favor Devin Haney, in my opinion. I'll just say this. Imagine the fight was shortened to 4 rounds, right? That's basically tailor-made for a guy like Devin Haney, because 4 rounds means less time for mistakes, less fatigue, and fewer chances for a power puncher like Brian Norman Jr. to find his range. Haney would thrive in a 4-rounder because he can maintain peak focus and physical sharpness without worrying about endurance. His legs will stay fresh, his timing will stay sharp, and he can bank rounds without ever slowing down. Now, we know this fight would never be 4 rounds. We're just saying, painting a picture of just the difference of the outcome if this was a 4-rounder versus a 12-rounder, okay? Now, a 4-round fight is just like a sprint. It's not a marathon. And Haney is an excellent sprinter. It benefits fighters who can explode early, establish control, coast safely to the finish line. And Devin Haney is one of those guys who can coast safely to the finish line, especially in a short fight. So to me, the shorter the fight, the lower the chance of chaos. And that's what Devin Haney would need. And I'm going to tell you something. Chaos is what power punchers like Brian Norman Jr. depend on. Haney's clean, defensive, tactical style is built for structure and control. And that's what he's going to try to do when he fights Norman Jr. And nothing gives him more control than time running out quickly. Devin Haney's in there. They say it was a 4-round fight. He wins them first 3 easily by not boxing and moving because he's fresh. Then all of a sudden, man, time start running out for Brian Norman Jr. And then all of a sudden, the structure and control Devin Haney built, Brian Norman Jr. just turned shit into chaos, and Devin Haney would just sit there and basically be able to avoid that in the last round. But I will tell you this, right? Although I think the 12 rounds is good for Haney, but 4 rounds may be better. Just having fun with the conversation, I'm going to tell you this right now. 12 rounds also benefits Brian Norman Jr. So let's flip the script. The same 12-round structure also gives Brian Norman Jr. his best chance to win if he knows how to use it. What Deontay Wilder used to say, you got to be perfect all 12 rounds, all 36 minutes. I just got to be perfect for 1 second. Norman is a fighter who improves with time. As each round progresses, you notice that the momentum starts to go his way. His style is built around pressure accumulation. Every round he survives and closes distance, he gathers data. He's reading patterns, gauging reactions, and chipping away at your foundation. And just remember, Devin Haney has no size advantage, no reach advantage, no nothing advantage over Brian Norman Jr. physically. Nothing. Okay? So in the first 3 rounds, Haney's footwork might look like it's too much. Norman might miss a few big shots, but around rounds 5 through 8, the fight changes. Norman's pressure starts to pay dividends. The ring starts to feel smaller for Devin Haney and also for Brian Norman Jr., which is what Brian Norman Jr. wants because he's able to cut that ring off and get to Devin. So Devin trying to get to them escape routes, and Brian Norman Jr. is prepared for that, and he's throwing the shots that preclude Devin Haney from escaping. All of a sudden, them clinches get harder and harder for Devin, and the air feels heavy. It's hard to breathe in that ring because you got this monster you got this AT alien all up in your ass, putting them bing-bings on you. And I just think that 5th through the 8th round, it could happen sooner, but that's when Norman's power and persistence really starts to matter. He's not looking to outpoint you necessarily. Yeah, he's looking to win rounds, but he knows he's in there, he can knock you out, and that's the ultimate goal for Brian Norman Jr. No, he's looking to break you down over time. And I just think for the fans out there who think Devin Haney's just going to get out here and outbox him and move and make it look easy, I'm going to tell y'all again, remember, Devin Haney, against Ryan Garcia, he had no size advantage. Against Linares, it really wasn't a size or reach advantage. Against everyone else, he had a size and reach advantage. Go look at BoxRec. Okay, so y'all out here taking it to the stupid. Just understand, for Devin Haney, I'm just saying, Devin Haney, man, boxing and moving and moving and moving. That ain't gonna get him to win, man. I just think he ain't gonna be able to do that. I think the more you move, and Devin Haney can't punch while he's moving. He ain't Keith Thurman, he ain't Lomachenko, he ain't Usyk. But all that moving and moving and moving and moving and running around, I think that's gonna cause. If anything, Devin Haney may get to the finish line, but that's gonna cause him to fight. Because I know Brian Norman Jr. is gonna be stepping with him. So while 12 rounds, I think it protects Haney early. They open the door late for Norman Jr. The more time there is, the more likely Norman can find that moment, that Deontay Wilder moment. That one perfect punch that changes the whole story. Now, if he can't get to him, but then Devin Haney, man, is just proving to us that, he just has that style as a purist, as a boxer. To where he may have a chance now to go on, and if he beats Brian Norman Jr., he can go on and unify 147. But the disadvantage for Devin Haney, right? Because I'm looking at this from both ways, right? I think time is a trap for Devin Haney. Now here's where things get tricky. The 12-round structure gives Haney control, but it also gives his opponent opportunities. Because the longer you move, the more your legs start to fade. Haney's style demands energy. It's cardio intensive. Constant movement, quick reactions, clinches, and counters. All of that shit burns gas. You know what I mean? So by the championship rounds, the body starts whispering things the mind doesn't want to hear. Slow down. That's when mistakes happen. Now we know Devin goes strong in the championship rounds, but he's not as fresh in the championship rounds as he is early in the fight, but he's still in damn good condition. So you can only keep perfect distance for so long before you get cornered or miss time and angle or, drop your hands. Let me tell you something. You can only clinch so many times before that ref starts warning you as well. And you can only jab your way out of danger until the other man starts slipping through. So 12 rounds might protect Haney from immediate danger, but it guarantees exposure to long-term attrition. One mistake in round 10, round 12 will never get there for Devin Haney, man. And everything he built for them 30 minutes can collapse in one punch. So forget a 36-minute fight. At the 30-minute mark, the fight could be over. Now, the disadvantage for Brian Norman Jr., limited time, man. For Brian Norman Jr., 12 rounds might actually be too short for the way he fights. He's one of them guys, man, once he get in his rhythm and stuff and he starts to touch you up, it's over for you, and he's not a guy, he's got patience. He's not someone who's out there, man, a front runner, all, green light go, all gas, no brakes. He builds rhythm slowly, man. He's like a steam engine that gets stronger the longer it runs. Now, I think in a 15-round fight, Norman's attrition-based power and body work would be devastating. I think he would 100% win in a 15-round fight. You can see the results of his early investments in rounds 13, 14, 15, the rounds that separate pure boxers from pure fighters. But we'll never see the 15-round fights again, and with 12 rounds, time may not be his friend. He's got to find a balance between patience and urgency. Because you just can't get in around 6 or 7 and allow Devin to outbox you and then decide you want to step to him, because now you start making mistakes and Devin's going to counter you and exploit you and make you look stupid. So you wait too long and scorecards get out of reach. Go too fast and burn his gas tank before the later rounds even starts, and Devin will sit there and just, take a deep breath and say, okay, this guy's tired. I'm just going to box him easy and win a unanimous decision, becoming champion in his 1, 2, 3rd weight division. So 12 rounds basically compresses his strategy. He doesn't get as many rounds to test, pressure, and mentally break Haney down. The shorter fight forces him to gamble earlier, something that can play into Haney's counter-punching hands. So who would thrive in a 15-round era? I just think it depends, you know what I'm saying? But there's no question Brian Norman Jr. would thrive in the 15-round era. He has that old school beat you down style. Derek Chisora would thrive in the 15-round era too. This is the kind of style that needs to simmer before it explodes. Fighters like him, pressure fighters, punchers, grinders were built for 15 rounds. That's why guys like Roberto Duran, Julio Cesar Chavez, Joe Frazier was so dangerous in the late rounds. They didn't win by flash. Brian Norman Jr. doesn't win by flash, but they win by erosion, by attrition. Round by round, these guys strip your confidence. Those guys took your legs and made you question whether you even wanted to keep fighting. So in boxing, if boxing still had 15 rounds, Norman would likely stop fighters like Haney, not because he's better technically, but because his power and pressure have more time to cook. So the clock game, too little, too much time. Sometimes fights are won or lost because of time, not talent. You just look at the history. Julio Cesar Chavez, Meldrick Taylor. That's classic example of that damn clock being your enemy. Taylor outboxed Chavez for 12 rounds, but the ref stopped it with just 2 seconds left. Time itself became the villain. If there had been less time, Taylor would have been the winner. Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury won. Fury was knocked down in the 12th round, but beat the count just before time ran out. A few more seconds and Wilder may have completed the knockout. Floyd Mayweather, Shane Mosley, 2010. Mosley rocked Floyd early in round 2, but the bell saved Mayweather. Too little time for Mosley to capitalize. Also, when Floyd Mayweather fought Maidana in that second fight, Maidana hit Floyd, and the bell rang, and Floyd somehow fumbled his way back to the corner, but his ass was hurt. Evander Holyfield against Michael Dokes. Both men fought to exhaustion, but the length of the fight favored Holyfield's endurance and mental toughness. More rounds, more damage, but also more greatness. So at the end of the day, time decides outcomes. Too short and a puncher runs out of opportunities. Too long and a boxer runs out of energy and gives the puncher a chance at redeeming himself. So 12 rounds, I think that's the compromise between chaos and control. Devin Haney wants control, Brian Norman Jr. wants chaos. The modern 12-round system is a compromise, okay? It's a balance between safety and drama. It protects fighters' health while still leaving room for strategy, momentum swings, and knockouts. For Devin Haney, it means safety and structure. For Brian Norman Jr., it means limitation and urgency. But for fans, 12 rounds means we get to see the best of both worlds. Skills, power, brains, brutality, all under a ticking clock that tests both styles differently. It's why fights like this fascinate us, and it sure as hell fascinates me because I'll be honest with you, I don't know who's going to win. I think Norman Jr., but again, it's just a conversation. I don't know. Because deep down, we're all asking the same question. When that clock starts winding down, who's going to break first? And to be honest with you, I don't know. But one thing I'll tell you is, I got Brian Norman Jr. winning this fight. But I just don't know. You know what I'm saying? Time is the real opponent in boxing. And I think we're all going to find that out when these two get in the ring. Anyway, man, y'all keep cool. I got to go get my boys from school. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. Become a member to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Follow me on TikTok. Matter of fact, let me show y'all where I'm at on TikTok, man. Right here. So, this is my TikTok right here. I just created it. So, if y'all want to follow me on TikTok, you see I just started it 2 days ago. So, it's HCB in Sports. Go ahead and follow me on TikTok, and that'll be good too, all right? Anyway, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. You all in the breeze.